Hello, precalc, and welcome to 7.5. This is Systems of Inequalities. So we're going to be graphing and shading. So all your answers are on graphs. Make sure you have graph paper or you draw perfectly well because your shaded area is your answer. And let's see how we do. Okay, so we're going to go our graph linear inequalities in two variables, nonlinear, so a couple of parabolas and circles and things like that. We're going to do a few story problems and then systems. Right, now things to remember, when you're graphing the equation, if you have a less than or a greater than sign, that's dashed. If it has an equal underneath it, then that is solid. Okay, you always choose a point to test to see if it's true or false, and we always shade the true portion of the graph. So remember, a line or anything divides your graph into two, or your other shapes. Here we go. So, simple. Or not simple, but only one. We have 4x plus 2y is greater than 10. Couple of ways to graph. You can do intercept graphing, or you can solve for y. I'm going to show you both, so I give you both options, and you can do whichever one you want. So when we say set x equal to 0, that's going to cross the x out in our equation. So we're going to be left with 2y is greater than 10, divide by 2, and y is greater than 5, or y equals 5. This is our y-intercept, so we go to 0, 5. And we plot that point. We do the same thing for the x-intercept. We let y equal 0, leaving us 4x is greater than, or you can put equal to, it really doesn't matter here. 10 divide by 4, and x is greater than 10 fourths, which is 5 halves, or 2.5. Decimals are way easier to graph here. 2.5, it was a greater than only, so this is a dashed line. Then you pick a point. If 0, 0 is not on the line, it's a really nice one to pick, so I'm going to choose 0, 0. We're going to plug this into this equation and see if it's true. Is 0 plus 0 greater than 10? This is false. That means every point on this side of the line is false, which means every point on this side of the line is true. So we shade over here because those are the true ones. If I pick a point here, it will make this equation true. Let's just show you. Let's say we pick 6, 1. If we plug in 6 and 1, 24 plus 2 is definitely greater than 10. That is your true side. All right, the other way is y equals mx plus b, which just means you solve for y. So we subtract our 4x. We divide by our 2. So y is greater than negative 2x plus 5. So we start at 5. We graph our slope down 2 over 1. Again, it is dashed. Same line as before, nothing new. Plug in 0, 0. Again, that will be false, making our true side this side. You may use any method. It does not matter which one you prefer. All right, pause and do yours. I'm going to solve for y. Divide by 5. So we start at negative 2. We go down 3. I need better eyes. Over 5. All right, now when we're looking at our graph, we see that it's less than or equal to, which makes this a solid line. I hope you got that right. Plugged in point 0, 0. Is 0 less than negative 10? That is a false statement, which means we are going to shade on this side of our line. Hope you did well. When you do 2, it's really nice to have colored markers. Okay, nonlinear. You have to remember what this looks like. So remember the 3 is your stretch. The 1 is your, it moved up 1, so we go up 1. 3 is the stretch, up 3 over 1. It's a less than only, so this is a dashed. There's my parabola. Pick a point. I picked 0, 0. Is 0 greater than 1? This is a false statement, which means we're shading inside of the parabola. So that graphing never goes away. You got to know those parent graphs, right? Okay, pause and try yours. I'm hoping you recognize this is a circle. Your center is negative 2, 5. So you go to negative 2, 5, and you put your dot. Your radius is the square root of 16, which is 4. So you go out 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Draw your circle the best you can. Pick a point. Again, 0, 0 is not on it, so let's plug that in, but be careful this time. Because that's 0 plus 2 squared plus 0 minus 5 squared. Does this equal 16? Well, here, that's 4 plus 20. Oh, shoot, I forgot to change this. Please change that to a greater than. 4 plus 2, is that greater than? Okay. I got caught up, and I was supposed to write 25. 4 plus 25, is that greater than 16? And the answer is true. So this is true, which means it shades on the outside of the circle. So if I had chose less than, it would have shaded on the inside of the circle. I hope you did a good job. Okay, systems. You graph one in shade, and then you graph the other in shade. So we're going to start with x minus 3y is greater than 6. Let's solve for y. So negative 3y is greater than negative x plus 6. Divide by negative 3. Remember, when you divide by negative 3, you flip your inequality. So that's 1/3 x minus 2. So we're going to go down to negative 2, up 1 over 3. It's a less than, so it is a... Oh, I wrote this problem wrong. Here to here. I am so sorry. This here started off as a less than. I have to go fix my notes. So that changes this to a greater than. All right, still dashed. Okay, let's plug in 0, 0 to the original. Is 0 less than 6? That is a true statement. So this line is shaded on this side of the graph. Okay, now let's graph the other one. Let's do him in red, or whatever color you have. Let's solve for y. So 3y is greater than or equal to negative 2x minus 6. Divide by 3. So y is greater than or equal to a negative 2/3 x minus 2. So now we're going to go down to negative 2 again. But now it's down 2 over 3. This time it is a solid line. Well, I hate that when that disappears. Solid line. Okay, plug in 0, 0. 0 is greater than negative 6 is a true statement. So now we're going to shade this side of my graph. And see where that double shaded, that dark blue there? That's your answer. So make sure you're shading carefully. If you're using pencil, shade in really, really hard so life is good. Hang on, my computer's about to die. Give me a second. All right, sorry about that. Okay, let's continue. Oh, here, I said to pick a point that satisfied both, so that's anything in the shaded area. So if we plugged in 0, 0. 0 is less than 6 is true. 0 is greater than negative 6 is true. So one point is 0, 0. You could have picked 1, 1, 3, 3. It doesn't matter. Anything that's in that double dark blue. Okay, pause and try yours. Step 1, you should have solved for y or did intercept graphing. So you started at 5. You went down to over 1. And you should have recognized it was a dashed line. I plugged in 0, 0. 0 is not greater than 5. So it shades on this side of the line. Okay, next, you had to solve negative 3x plus 2y. It's greater than or equal to 8. So add the 3x. Divide by your 2. So you should have started at 4, went up 3 over 2. This time there was an equal sign, so that was a solid line. Again, we're going to plug in 0, 0. 0 is not greater than 8, so that's false. So we're going to shade on this side of the line. And again, the dark blue is our ancient. So make sure I can see that. Shade that really dark if you have the same color. All right, this one here, we're going to go by 10s on my number line, just so we can see what's going on, otherwise it won't fit. So go by 10s on the Y, we'll still go by 1s on the X. So we want to know, X represents height and a healthy range. Are you healthy in the weight region? So first thing we have to do is graph both of these. So we're going to solve the first one. So we're going to negative Y greater than or equal to a negative 4.9x plus 165. Divide by your negative 1. Remember to change your sign. 4.9x minus 165. So we're going by 10s, right? So this means we are 165 down here, up 4.9 over 1, and that is a solid line. Okay, plug in 0, 0 to your original. Is 0 greater than 165? And that is a false statement. So this guy is shaded down here. Okay, now let's graph the other one. So minus y is less than or equal to a negative 3.7x plus 125. Divide by your negative 1. Y is greater than or equal to 3.7x minus 125. So we're going to start at 125 this time. Up 3.7 over 1. Really hard to graph. Again, a solid line. Plug in 0, 0. 0 is less than 125. So we're graphing on this side. So right here, let's do this in yellow, is your area of health. So find your height and your weight and see if you are in there. Okay, good luck on your homework. I hope you did well. Sorry about the pause in the middle. And make sure you post questions if you have any.